Scott Stapp is opening up for the very first time about what he describes as a mental health breakdown. The Creed frontman is revealing in this week's People about the rough road he's traveled and how he almost lost his family. We sat down with Scott and his wife Jacqueline in their Florida home during a day that Scott Stapp is happy to be a part of once again.
It's not a curse. You know, it's actually been a gift in my life because it's definitely impacted everything that I've ever done as an artist.
Creed frontman Scott Stapp is so very thankful that he's back to living a normal life.
Oh, it was such a memorable day. We had an awesome baseball game with Daniel this morning, almost hit a home run, and a beautiful special moment with Milan and her first communion.
For Scott Stapp and his family, the days ahead are a far cry from what life was like just months ago. And for the very first time, he's opening up about it only to people.
You know, I mean, bottom line, I was out of my mind at that point in time. I was in the middle of what they call a drug-induced manic psychosis. I had a psychotic break. You know, it's probably the equivalent of being completely drunk or on some kind of crazy drugs, and how that affects your behavior. That's where I was.
The 41-year-old Grammy Award-winning singer, who has struggled with substance abuse for years, began abusing prescription drugs and alcohol and used marijuana. In November, after refusing to seek treatment, his wife Jacqueline kicked him out of their home and filed for divorce.
It's definitely mixed emotions. There's still, you know, some pain. We're still healing. But there's also this relief and excitement and just kind of ready to get back in and pick up and make up for all this lost time.
Lost time that Stapp describes as a, quote, wild ride. And that ride resulted in a bizarre video where Stapp claimed that he was homeless and under some kind of vicious attack. The video was viewed by millions, making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Even his children were aware something was wrong.
You know, our oldest child, he lived through the struggle with us. He saw what was going on publicly. He saw what was going on behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, Stapp's wife Jacqueline was desperate to find answers. Drastic times calling for drastic measures, she put locks on their bank accounts, had him committed to a rehab facility, only to have him escape just 2 days later. In a last-ditch effort to save her husband, Jacqueline texted him family Christmas photos. Stapp finally responded, got treatment, and then a stunning diagnosis was made.
I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
Finally, some answers for Stapp's family. The singer acknowledging that he faces a long road ahead with many guidelines in place to keep him on track.
You know, I work a 12-step program. I have a sponsor who's guiding me through that program, and I have a community of other people that have very similar life experiences.
Stapp's whole scary experience is something his wife Jacqueline would like to put behind them, and she shares this message to other families dealing with the same issues.
Definitely just not giving up and keep fighting and keep the faith.